I was today years old when I discovered the benefits that come with stretching your hair. And to think we were made to feel bad for wanting to keep our natural hair in a stretched state. We were shamed for it, but look now, it actually comes with benefits. Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is not your first time being here. Please subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. I have a really big goal of getting to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Let's see how far we can get, but please subscribe if you like the content that's on this channel. I'm so glad to have you guys here today because I'm going to be showing you guys my very effective hair stretching as well as picking / fluffing routine. So if that's something that you're interested in, please stay tuned. Now, when it comes to stretching natural hair, we already know that it's no type of rocket science, but it does require a certain amount of delicacy as well as patience, because you want to make sure you're not creating any frizz or just unnecessary tangles for no just cause, okay? So before I even do anything, I always section my hair off into two. Now, I don't really like rip through my hair and section it into like two full-on ponytails. I start off by separating the back of my hair, and then I pin one side of it, the side that I'm not about to work on, with a duck clip. So it's not like I'm just straight up just sectioning out my hair. It's more like a mental section, because we don't want to create frizz, because separating a wash and go unnecessarily can bring you an unwanted amount of frizz, so we don't want that. So I just kind of section at the bottom, and I keep track of what side I'm doing at the moment. So when I'm stretching my hair, I start off in really small sections. And before we even get started, I'm using a blow dryer, by the way. I'm not using the banding method. I like to use heat when I stretch my wash and goes because they're the most effective. They give me really long hair, and to me they last much better than the banding method. I don't know. I have a little bit of beef with the banding method. I've had some really bad instances with the banding method, so that's why I decided to just blow dry my hair to stretch it out. It's perfect every single time. It's no complaints whatsoever. So I start off in really small sections because that is the key to really just an effective hairstyle in general. Like, you are wasting your time if you think that you can get through, especially if you have thick hair. If you can like successfully do your hair in just like 4 sections. I mean, some people can, but I know that I can't. So I try to go in really small sections. And when I'm separating the hair, I make sure that I'm separating it where the curls are already separated, because we do not want to create any unwarranted frizz. So I, kind of gauge where the curls are separated already, so I'm not like ripping curls apart, And once I do that, the next thing is to obviously get the blow dryer, turn it on, and I do it on medium heat. When I'm stretching my hair, I don't use any type of product. I don't use heat protectant or anything like that, because I feel like the heat is like indirect anyway, and I don't really blast it on full heat. So to me, there's no need for a heat protectant. When you use a stronghold gel, it already has a gel cast. So even as much as people dislike that gel cast, it actually does protect your hair when it comes to heat. So that's another reason why I don't, use heat protectant. So as I'm blow drying, I'm making sure to have a really good grip. And I'm also kind of tugging at my strands a little bit just to assist in the stretching. And one thing I never do is direct heat to the ends of my strands. Your ends need to be, even if only your ends are defined, like, that's actually good. It's better for there to be frizz on your roots and your hair shaft than for there to be frizz on your ends, because ends are basically what makes a wash and go. So you don't want to mess that up, and there's not really much to stretch at your ends anyway. So I always cover my ends with my hand. I make sure no type of heat is directed towards my ends. Thank me later. I believe that my best stretch comes from the roots. Like, that to me is where the shrinkage kind of starts, because since we want our hair to be real fluffy, real voluminous, the heat will basically create frizz on our ends, and that'll help us with that volume. So but to be honest, even if you do get a little bit of frizz here and there, it's actually okay. I feel like frizz is that part of our hair, especially for type 4 girls. I feel like frizz is that part of us that a lot of us really aren't okay with, And Frizz to me is honestly just our hair in an undefined state. So even if you do get a little bit of frizz after stretching your hair, like that is totally fine. That's your hair and that's what it does. And that's a part of us that I feel like a lot of us need to accept. But no frizzy ends though. We don't do frizzy ends. And as I was stretching my hair, I kind of thought to myself, like, I can actually pick my hair as I go instead of waiting for all of my hair to be stretched and then going back in again and picking it all over again. I just thought it was much better for me to manipulate my hair at once and then leave it be. This comb by far gives me the best results. And I think it's because I know how to use it effectively. It has a really wide handle, so you have so much control over it. And to me, it just fluffs my roots like I've never seen it before. Like, I don't know, I just feel like this comb is a little bit more intentional, if that makes sense. I do have to do a little bit more work by obviously sectioning off my hair in order to give it access to my roots, but I just like the way that it lifts my roots. And this is the comb that I will always pick up whenever I see it. I will still use a pick though, but this particular wide tooth comb is my first choice because I get the best results with it. I direct it directly on the root, and when I'm lifting it, I kind of pause a little bit just so it can like stay there. Another trick that you could do if you want your roots to be fluffy and stay fluffy, as you're lifting it, you can direct a blow dryer to it. Applying heat to your hair will make your hair stay in that position for a longer period of time. So applying indirect heat from a blow dryer while you're picking with this comb, oh my god. Like, that will give you a crazy amount of root lifting, a crazy amount of fluffing. And when I'm picking, I kind of do it in like an L formation. So I would pick up and then out, if that makes sense. So up and out. I hope that the way I'm demonstrating it gives you guys a clear picture on how to do it. But just picture the letter L and guide the comb in that direction, in an L direction. And like I said, I would lift it and I will pause for a few seconds and then I would you know, let it go. And this is how I'm able to get my hair stretched and with a little bit of volume. And using the L formation, not really with this comb. You can use the L formation with any type of comb, but following the shape of an L as you're picking, so lifting up and out, gives you a really good root lifting, a really good root fluffing, and that's what we're looking for in a wash and go especially. But yeah, so that's basically my hair stretching as well as hair picking and fluffing process. And you guys know whatever we do on one side, we have to do it on the other side. And while I'm doing the other side of my hair, because it's basically the same thing, let's talk about the benefits of keeping your hair stretched. Now, am I the only one that has a less stressful wash day whenever I wash my hair in somewhat of a stretched state versus kind of going into the shower with hair that's squished on one side and just so shrunken up? I feel like whenever I wash my hair in a shrunken up state, ooh, it'd be stressing me out. The tangles and the fairy knots are just, it's very stressful and almost annoying. But that right there is the benefit of keeping your hair stretched. You don't get as many knots or tangles because your hair is basically separated. The way that our hair strands, especially type 4, kind of lays on our hair, they marry themselves. They're intertwined into each other. So stretching your hair can help kind of break that bond, even though it's such a beautiful bond, but it is definitely at our detriment. We don't want tangles, we don't want knots, because these things cause breakage. It causes us to lose hair, and it's just not fun in general to detangle tangled up hair. Another benefit of stretching your hair is that sebum that we produce through our scalp has an easier distribution process versus leaving your hair in a shrunken up state. If your hair is left in a shrunken up state, it's very difficult for sebum to actually travel down to our hair strands. And we really don't see the benefits of sebum if they're not actually on our hair strands. Yeah, the scalp produces it, and I'm sure that our scalp benefits from this production, but sebum was not meant to just stay on our scalp. It was meant to be spread out. Just think of sebum as your own personal oil. It's so healthy. We all know that anything that comes from inside of us is the best. So you want to make sure that that sebum is not just staying on your scalp, but also spreading down to your strands so your hair can look shiny and appear extremely healthy. So stretching your hair really helps with that. And working out also helps with that sebum distribution. So just so you know, if you're not working out, it'd be best to start, okay? Because it's gonna help your hair in a really great way. I feel like I should also make another video on how working out indirectly helps your hair and its health. There's so many benefits that come with working out. Like, it helps our skin, our nails, our hair. You know what I'm saying? So let me know if you guys want a video on that, because I have a lot to say in that realm too. And last but not least, when your hair is in a stretched state, your scalp is breathing. Like, come on now. Like, just imagine you going to bed with like 5-6 different comforters. Like, that seems like a really stressful situation. And that's basically what our hair does to our scalp when it's not in a stretched state. It kind of suffocates it. All the benefits from the natural elements like the sun and the oxygen are not really getting to our scalp like that. So keeping your hair in a stretched state will give your scalp room to receive all the nutrients that God has to offer through these natural elements, and it will definitely improve the health of your hair for sure. So yeah, I think we've basically covered everything that I wanted to cover. I really tried my best to keep this video detailed as well as informative, so I really hope that you guys found this video helpful. Please subscribe to my channel once again. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so doing that will help me out so much. Like the video if you liked what I was spitting, if you felt that I, helped you a little bit, and share it if you're feeling a little bit froggy. But thank you guys so much for clicking on my video, and I will see you guys in my next one.